Just 4 miles away from the center of downtown Eugene is the campus of Lane Community College, and also the setting for what should be an exciting matchup between the Clackamas Cougars and the Lane Titans. Saul Galvan alongside Jonah Bruneau. Jonah, we just got finished up with the women's game. That was a really exciting matchup. I mean, these are two teams that are play pretty evenly, similar to the last game. What should we expect in this game?
Yeah, I think it should be similar fireworks, and I would expect to see a closely contested game all the way down to the wire. Very evenly matched up, I believe. Lane 8-10, Clackamas 10-8, so an advantage there. But Lane 3-3 in conference, 2-3 are the Cougars or Clackamas. So very evenly matched up. Lane coming off that 1-point loss against Lynn Benton last time out. Got to be carrying some sort of edge and giving them extra motivation to come out stronger today at home.
Yeah, this is the first home game for Lane since January 6th, so they've been on a roll for quite a while, and they feel good to be back in their home court for the next 2 games. And we'll give you the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the Cougars. Andre Lawrence and Josiah Collins are the 2 guards in the front. Leon Ford and Peyton Myers, the 2 forwards down low, and Henry Grassman in the middle as the big man at center position. And then for the Titans, Javon Blackmore, Silas Wright, 2 forwards. Jacob LeBounty, Jacob Axmaker, 2 forwards, and Micah Garrett, the big man, in the middle.
How about that? Yeah, you're talking about Micah Garrett, leading scorer for Lane, 15.2 points per game. Look for him to be a huge factor against Clackamas today.
He's 40th in the conference in total points, and you bet the Titans are going to be looking for him today. As we're underway, and right away a big from Elon Ford. He got the tip off, and he took it right to the basket. It's 2-0 Clackamas here in the first seconds of the game. There's Jacob LeBounty trying to find Silas Wright. Back to LeBounty, and it gets stolen away by Clackamas. And it's going to be put up, but a put back by Peyton Myers. He was right there to grab the rebound and the putback. So 4-0, a quick offensive output from Clackamas.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest keys to this game is whoever's going to come out on top is going to have to have an advantage on second chance points when they get the opportunity.
Javon Blackmore drives in but couldn't connect. Here comes Clackamas. They're on fire here in the early going. A 3-pointer on the way from the Cougars, no good. That was by Peyton Myers, couldn't get it to fall. And now here's Jacob Axmaker. He's going to drive it in, but it gets blocked by Myers. So missed the 3-pointer on one end, but gets the block on the other. Leon Ford going to bring it up. He'll take a 3-pointer of his own. No good. Rebound by Jacob LeBounty for the Titans. And he gets stolen right back from Ford. So Ford all over the court here in the early going.
Yeah, and neither team, they're middle of the pack in scoring offense. 10th in the conference are the Titans of Lane. Clackamas 15th in the conference. So nothing too flashy offensively from either side.
Down low to Grassman. He fights against Silas Wright. And it looks like it went off a Cougar, so it'll go to the Titans.
Isaiah Wallace checks in for the Titans. Watch out. He is a spark plug for this Lane team coming off the bench, kind of like that 6th man, and he is explosive.
Jacob LeBounty takes a seat. Wallace is in. As the Titans are just looking for something. Only down by 4 here in the early going, but the Cougars have come out with a lot of intensity. Here's Blackmore from the 3-point line. A little too much on that one. Rebounded by Grassman for the Cougars. And they're pushing up forward. A nice coast-to-coast from Josiah Collins, the sophomore guard from Portland. Takes it all the way, and it's 6-0 Cougars here in the first 2 minutes.
Twice now Collins has been able to drive to the rack like that, showing off his speed, able to create space.
Silas Wright from the top of the wing, and no good. In and out, rebound grab by Blackmore. He kicks it out. Corner 3, that's good.
There's your second chance points right there. When you're able to get an opportunity to capitalize on that, you have to. And right there, even better, a 3-pointer in the corner gets Lane going.
Micah Garrett was the one who made the 3-pointer. He's averaging 15 points on the season, and he gets Lane on the board, 6-3. As the Cougars look to respond. Here's a 3-pointer from Collins. No good off the front iron of the rim. Rebounded by Wallace, and he'll take it up for the Titans.
3-point shooting, not a strong suit for Clackamas. Just 32% from downtown, near the bottom of the conference.
Here's Wallace with the corner, but he'll grab his own rebounder. Let's see, he was trying to, but he'll get fouled. It was up in midair. Boy, he can jump. and it looks like there was some contact there with Andre Lawrence from the Cougars, but the Titans will inbound it. Blackmore on the inbound. Fighting inside is Garrett, and he gets the 2 points. So now it's a 1-point deficit for Lane.
It's a big game for Clackamas. Coming into this game, they're right behind Lane in the conference standings. And with the win, would move ahead of the Titans.
Here's Andre Lawrence. He kicks it out to Henry Grassman on the far wing. Now gets it to Collins, and he drives in, but it's stolen away by Garrett. Let's see what he can do. Gets over to Blackmore. Blackmore driving inside, but he gets tipped away by Ford. And the Cougars get it right back. Here's Andre Lawrence driving in against Wallace. Rebound by Grassman. No good. And Titans get the ball back.
Some sloppy offense by Lane. Already 3 turnovers in the first 4 minutes or so. Travel on Blackmore now. Another turnover.
Hey, you're talking about the Cougars. You know, this is a big game for them being behind Lane, but also they're trying to get their rhythm back. They made an NWAC Final Four run as their Southern Region #1 seed last season. So they were one of the top teams in this conference, but this season not exactly playing the same. But today will be a big game as Grassman gets it down low, but rebounded by Garrett. And we got a whistle call.
Oh, they might have just
And it looks like it was might have been a foul.
It's a technical on Grassman. He had words for the referee. He wanted a foul, and the referee was not having any of it. And here's an opportunity for Lane.
Axemaker at the line for Lane. He makes the first free throw.
Yeah, he's the best free throw shooter for Lane, 83% from the stripe so far this year.
Second in points per game. He had 22 points in the previous game over Lynn Benton as he makes the first one, and Lane has the first lead. And so has their first lead of the night, 7-6.
And Clackamas now brings in Jacob Watson and brings Grassman out. Grassman had a rough start to this game. Not only that technical foul, but a couple drives and chances for points off the window, and both were not able to fall.
Here's Micah Garrett. He pulls up from just right at the free throw line, and he makes the basket. So a nice bucket there from Garrett to extend the lead. It's 9-6 with 15:50 left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, really a 4-point play off the technical foul.
There's Lawrence. Gets it to Collins. He's driving inside. Silas right on defense, but gets it to Jacob Watson, who just checked in. He gets his first points of the game. It's 9-8. So here's a three-pointer from Izzy Goldman. That one is in and out of the rim. The three-point attempt does not fall for Titans. Cougars back on offense, trying to get something that's tipped away by Silas Wright. Cougars able to get it back, though. Josiah Collins at the top of the key. Jacob Axemaker on defense now gets it to Andre Lawrence. Lawrence trying to get around the screen. Now here's Collins from the three-pointer. No good off the front eye of the rim. Rebound by Micah Garrett. He's got a real big impact here in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Good board by Garrett getting up there. Now going to take a three.
And the three doesn't fall. Hit the front of the rim and the backboard, but right there is Silas Wright able to get the rebound and put it back for the second chance point.
Good job by Wright. Yeah, getting that second chance point on the board. And Lane now to a three-point lead. That technical foul really changed the momentum. Seemed like Clackamas was at a faster pace.
Here's a deep three-pointer from Ford, and he makes it. So Clackamas ties it up. And this is exactly the game we were expecting. Two teams that match up pretty evenly, and they're tied at 11 apiece in the first 5 minutes of the game as Garrett drives in. He's able to pick up 2 more points. Now it's 13-11. Here's Lawrence driving in, and he answers with his own 2 points. So teams going back and forth right now. Yep. It's tied once again at 13.
And a lot of drives, driving to the rack, not settling for that deep three ball or deep twos. They're going, getting physical in the paint.
Axemaker driving inside.
Another
He's
one.
going to put one up. No good. Rebounded by Watson. Andre Lawrence will bring it up for Clackamas. Getting the screen. one of the better ball handlers in the conference, as another three-pointer by Ford. That one's going to miss this time. Rebounded by Isaiah Wallace, but he'll get fouled, and the ball will go back to Lane. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the floor. I mean, Jonah, both teams have just come out swinging.
Yeah, and really, right now, Lane is not shooting the ball well from three, just 1 of 6, but so is Clackamas. Really what it comes down to is the turnovers. 4 turnovers so far for the Titans, and so you wonder how that's going to sustain out as the rest of the game goes. But like I mentioned, the second chance points I think is going to be the X factor as to who comes out on top. And so far, Lane's done a good job. Those second chance points they've been able to capitalize on. Silas Wright has a couple, and really that's what's led to now a 13-apiece game.
Yeah, also the rebounding too. Right now, Lane is out rebounding Clackamas 10-7, and that's really been one of their strong suits. In the last matchup against Lynn Ben, they only lost by 1 point. It was a close matchup. Jacob Axmaker, he led the Titans with 22 points, but Lynn Ben, they shot 48% from the field. And when a team is that hot, it's hard to win games like that. But Lane, the biggest thing, though, was out-rebounded 50-42 over Lynn Ben. So controlling the rebounds is going to be big against Clackamas in this one.
Yeah, and 50-42 is not a horrible margin, but when it comes down, when it's a close game and it's going to come down to the wire, like this one today could very well could come down to the wire. Every little column in the stat category matters.
Jacob Labounty checks in for Silas Wright. And here's Javon Blackmore. He's driving inside, working, and puts one up, no good. And it looks like it was touched by Jacob Watson.
They're going to say it's off Blackmore.
But it looked like, yeah, Blackmore got the last touch, so the ball will go to the Cougars.
And Grassman standing at 6'9". He's the tallest player on this Clackamas team, but him with the technical foul, now having Watson in. Watson just standing at 6'5".
Here's Josiah Collins on the near wing. Now gets it to Lawrence. Lawrence gets out to Henry Grassman. Now here's Lawrence. Trying to fade away. He gets it out to Jacob Watson. No good with that one. Rebounded by LaBounty.
What I think Wayne needs to take advantage of here on offense is Watson. He's not really a true big, standing at 6'5". So if they're able to get into the paint and drive to the rack.
Here's Isaiah Lawrence. He pulls up and hits the three-pointer and gets Lane back out in front.
Or shoot the three ball. That works too.
16-13 with 12:23 left to go in the first half. Lane ahead. Trying to keep the momentum going. Here's a three-pointer from the Cougars. No good. Isaiah Wallace on the rebound. Three-pointer didn't go from Henry Grassman, who's back in the game. Or that's Peyton Myers. Another three-pointer attempt from Isaiah Wallace. That one doesn't find. Rebound by Axmaker, and he puts another 2 points on the board. 18-13.
Yeah, some good offense here in this first 10 minutes of the first half. Lane's starting to connect.
There's Myers in the corner. Gets it back to Collins. Thinking about it for a second. Instead gets it back to Myers. Now Lawrence. Collins from the wing. That one is no good. Rebounded by LaBounty. It's his second rebound since coming in the game. And now gets it ahead to Micah Garrett. Then to Javon Blackmore at the top of the key. Here's Axmaker. He'll take a three-pointer from the top of the key. No good. Cougars rebound it. And here's Collins driving in. No call for a foul there, but it'll stay with the Cougars.
Yep, and looks like number 5, Junior Leggy, coming in for Lane for the first time today. Leggy doesn't play all that much, just 12.5 minutes per game this season, but getting a good early call off the bench.
Yeah, Leggy is in. Micah Wright takes a seat for the Titans. As the ball was tipped, it was a little bit of a cross-court pass from Collins. He was trying to get it to his guard, Andre Lawrence, but a nice tip there from Javon Blackmore to break up the play.
How about the referee over here showing off his dodgeball skills? It's pretty good.
Joe Funduck will inbound it. Here's Funduck. Gets it down low to Henry Grassman, who's back in the game. He drives inside, working in, and he gets his first bucket since coming back in, 18-15. So Cliff Wagner decided to put grasping back in besides getting technical early in the game.
Yeah, got put in the timeout corner for a little bit, learned his lesson, and getting him right back out there.
There's Blackmore, then Leggy, back to Blackmore at the top of the key. Looking for some sort of screen. He gets it, drives inside, puts one up, and no good. Bunch of guys going up for it. Blackmore ends up getting the rebound and gets it down low to LaBounty, and he puts it in for the easy lay-in. So it's back to a 5-point lead for Lane.
Javon Blackmore, 6'1", but boy, does he have hops. And you saw it twice there, getting his own rebound inside the paint and getting up for those rebounds and allowing LaBounty to put up the second chance point.
Here's Lawrence. He's looking inside, trying to find something. Almost looking for a spin move. Gets it top of the key to Myers and then back to Collins. And it's going to be in the corner. Joe Funduck taking a three-pointer, and he hits the three. So Fundak with his first points of the game. And it's 20-18 as Lane looking to respond. Here's LaBounty working inside.
What a block.
Went up for one, but you just said it. What a block from Leon Ford.
Got called him, though, for the body foul on the block. Really good timeout here.
So we're going to get a timeout. 20-18 with 9:40 left to play in the first half. A pretty closely contested matchup. We'll see what Lane does on the other side of this break here on the Lane Sports Network. Jacob LaBounty for Lane will be at the free throw line coming out of the timeout as they look to extend the 2-point lead that Lane currently has.
From right here in Eugene, Oregon is Mr. LaBounty.
He's been 65% from the free throw line this season as he knocks down the first one. He's 35th in the conference in field goal percentage, and he has season high 17 points for Grays Harbor early in the season. Bounty knocks both free throws, and it's a 22-18 Titan lead. And we see a little bit of full court defense from Lane, but Cougars were ready for it as what a slam from Peyton Myers.
You said it, full court pressure, but Clackamas responded perfectly to the pressure.
And now Lane was coming up the court pretty quickly as LaBounty had a hand on it trying to put one up, but he'll gets fouled again and he'll go back to the line.
That's the one risk of when you do the full court pressure. You double a man with the ball and it leaves a cutter open, and they saw that twice. They got a cut pass to Fundock and then the slam dunk finish at the end.
The Cougars executed perfectly and it paid off getting the 2 points there as LaBounty makes the first free throw, and a couple substitutions for Lane as Michael Garrett and Axemaker are back into the game. Izzy Golden and Isaiah Wallace take a seat. LaBounty is 4 for 4 from the line, and he'll take a seat. Silas Wright comes back into the game. So Lane's starting group back out on the court. There's Andre Lawrence for the Cougars. Gets out to Fundock again, and he hits another three. 2 of 2 from the three-point line.
Yep, feeling
Joe
good.
And he is feeling it from a three-point range. It's a 1-point deficit as Lane tries to answer with a three of their own. Junior Ladigi was trying to hit one from the near wing but couldn't get it to go. There's Lawrence. Gets it to Collins. Collins driving inside. Thought about pulling up for a second, but gets it outside to Ford, and he hits the three-pointer.
Just lost in rotation. Leggy got there, number 5 for Lane, and it left Lawrence wide open at the top of the key.
There's Micah Garrett, then gets it on to Javon Blackmore. Blackmore drives in. Look at the hop. He has an easy basket and ties it up at 26.
Just so athletic.
There's Peyton Myers. Now gets it to Funduck. Got 6 points in the game, 2 3-pointers as Josiah Collins is going up for it, but gets bodied by Silas Wright. And they'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
For teams that are middle of the pack and scoring in the conference, it's been anything but here in the first half. Very high scoring.
Very high scoring. And, I mean, you look at the, where these two teams are at in the conference standings, and as far as field goal percentage-wise, Lane is 19, Clackamas is 31st. So, yeah, these are two teams that don't really put up a lot of points, but their offenses are working here in the early going. Collins misses the first free throw. He's 63% from the line this season. Isaiah Wallace checks back into the game. Ladigi takes a seat. Collins makes the second free throw. And Clackamas reclaims the lead, 27-26, with a little over 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. And here's Micah Garrett getting the screen inside from Silas Wright, but gets it out to the corner, Isaiah Wallace. He hits the three-pointer, and Lane gets the lead right back. Isaiah Wallace.
And there's that spark he creates off the 6-man off the bench. He can hit from 3 from wherever.
Here's Grassman, another three-pointer from Fundock. This one at the top of the key, no good, but it gets rebounded by Grassman. Gets it back outside, and here's great Thompson who makes 3. Actually, that was Peyton Myers, but he ends up making the 3. Another lead change. Clackamas ahead again by 1 point. Javon Blackmore finding Micah Wright, a nice pass and play to get it to Micah Garrett, who was going down and able to get the easy points.
It was a nice cut by Garrett, and Blackmore being able to pick that up and a nice bounce pass on the cut. There was no one underneath.
There's Peyton Myers, but it gets stolen away by Isaiah Wallace. Lane pushing up the court. Wallace. Blackmore at the top of the key. Getting a screen from Wright. Blackmore drives inside, puts one up, no good. Wright got a hand on it, but the Cougars come away with it. Here's Andre Lawrence. Driving inside by Axemaker, but gets it to Collins, and he gets the easy 2-point bucket. We've had a good amount of lead changes, especially in the first 14 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Clackamas' ball movement's really impressive right now, and Lane is getting lost in transition.
Blackmore gets the easy 2 points as Lawrence went down. He was looking for a foul there, but no call from the ref, and Blackmore had the easy lay-in. Lawrence with it for the Cougars, trying to get it down low to Grassman, but it was tipped away by Micah Garrett. They're going to say that the Cougars touched it last, so it'll go to Lane. And a couple substitutions. Axemaker and Wright take a seat. And Jacob LeBounty back into the game, along with Izzy Golden. 6:10 left to play. Lane up by 1, 33-32. There's Jacob LeBounty. Javon Blackmore, first shot attempt from beyond the arc, no good. Rebounded by Micah Garrett. He came in like a missile to grab that rebound, and he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and Garrett, familiar sighting, leading Lane in scoring, 11 points. The only man in double digits in this game.
There's Isaiah Wallace, who takes a three-pointer from the corner. It's good! Isaiah Wallace, his third three-pointer of the game.
Is that not pretty or what? The fadeaway on the move, 3 in the corner, and it hits nothing but net.
And it's stolen away by Javon Blackmore. He's contested with 4, but Blackmore just puts it up. He won't get fouled. And a timeout taken by the Cougars. And a really nice couple possessions there for Lane as they put up 5 straight points to make it 38-32 with 5:39 left to play in the first half. We'll step aside for a second when we return on the Lane Sports Network. Cougars inbounding it, but Lane leads by 6. Here's Andre Lawrence. It's to Collins and top of the key to Peyton Myers as it gets down low. And a rebound and putback slam by Peyton Myers. Leon Ford missed it, and Myers was right there to clean it up and get the dunk. Boy, Myers came in hot. Now here's Lane. Micah Wright, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Peyton Myers. Talk about Javon Blackmore having the hops for Lane. Peyton Myers has the hops for Clackamas. Here's Lawrence, top of the key. Jacob LeBounty on him. And now here's a three-pointer from Myers. That one's good. So Peyton Myers, 5 straight points on 2 different possessions. And now the deficit is back to 1 point for Clackamas as Javon Blackmore driving inside. He gets out to the corner for Izzy Golden. He pump fake and missed the shot. Now here's Andre Lawrence. Peyton Myers driving inside, and he is going to get the offensive foul. Jacob LeBounty fell down, a lot of contact, and it'll go back to the Titans.
Yeah, Peyton Myers is almost 17 points per game, top 25 in the conference in points per game. And he's making an impact already. He had a season-high 31 points against Yakima Valley. And he's having a big impact right now, leading scorer, 12 points already.
So another timeout on the floor, 38-37. This game has been super close, 4:19 left to play in the first half. We're going to step aside for a moment when we come back here on the Lane Sports Network. Jacob LeBounty for Lane will inbound it to Javon Blackmore. It's Blackmore, Ladigi, LeBounty, Garrett, and Wallace are the 5 out there for Lane. Out of the timeout. Here's Isaiah Wallace, who's taking a three-pointer. He's been red hot from three-pointer, not able to knock that one down. Rebound by LeBounty, though. But the Cougars come away with it. There's Lawrence. Now Ford. Lawrence trying to get it down low to Grassman, but Titans come away with it. Good defense there down low.
Yeah, it was a good collapse there. LeBounty was inside, and Isaiah Wallace came flying in.
Javon Blackmore driving in. No good. That went off the back iron or the rim. And here's Ford. Blackmore play pretty close defense, and they're going to say that's a
Too close.
Foul against Blackmore as he might have reached in there.
He's going to come off now.
Yeah, and he'll come off the first time in this game. He's played pretty much the whole first half up to this point. And he's definitely been effective. But now Jacob Axemaker comes into the game to replace him. There's Ford driving inside. No good. And he's down on the ground. Looks like he's okay, but it'll be a foul. And
it's kind of a late call on Leggy.
Andre Lawrence shooting 60% from the free throw line this season. Leads the team in assists per game. Season high, 21 points versus Highline. As he misses the first free throw, Silas Wright coming into the game for the Titans. Jacob Labounty back to the bench. Lawrence misses both free throws, rebounded by Wright. Kind of got tipped around there between a couple Titans, but they come away with it. Micah Garrett taking it up for Lane. And here's Micah Garrett going inside, and it looks like they're going to call a travel on him. He was trying to drive inside and try to pull off a spin move, but ref may have seen 3 steps there, and turnover for Lane. Lawrence gets it down low to Grassman, guarded by Silas Wright. Grassman not able to get it in. Rebounded by Grassman. He gets it back in and tipped in by Andre Lawrence to clean it in.
Well, if you're not going to get the second chance points, you better get the third chance points, and that's what happened right there. But Lane's just got to be better. Got to have more of a presence inside. Have to have an answer for Grassman.
Clackamas back out in front by 1. And it looks like there's going to get a foul called. Silas Wright was trying to drive in. And the foul will be on Henry Grassman. And Grassman not in a bit of foul trouble, but he did have a technical earlier in the game. First regular foul of the game, though. Silas Wright at the line, and he makes the first free throw. Siobhan Blackmore and Izzy Golden back into the game for Lane. Micah Garrett and Junior Ladigi take a seat.
When you look at it, 42% for Clackamas from 3 versus Lane's just 26. You would think Clackamas would be up by a handful here, but now Lane's up by 1.
Wright knocks down the second free throw, and yeah, you're right. I mean, Lane's 4 of 15 right now from three-point range, but they've had some good looks as Collins drove inside, was looking to get the foul, but no good, and it gets tipped away by Ford. The ball will stay with Lane, though.
Very even. 18 rebounds for Lane versus 17 for Clackamas. 6 turnovers versus 5. Lane versus Clackamas.
And the score tells you, too, only up by 1 with 2:20 left to play as it gets stolen away by Grassman. Good defense there from the Cougars. Lawrence will bring it up. Lawrence drives aside, got the screen from Myers. Now gets to Grassman. Out to Collins, or to Ford, actually. And he'll get fouled on the way up. And that'll be 2 shots. It looked like Axemaker, there's a little bit of contact there. Actually, they're going to say it's off the ball. So it'll be on the court, and Cougars will inbound it. Ford to inbound. Gets it to Collins. Then Lawrence. Myers. Back to Lawrence. Gets it down low to Grassman. He's working inside, and he gets fouled while on the way up. That'll be a shooting foul, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, head coach Kenneth Edwards a little disgusted with that, and politely, I'd say, I guess, letting the ref hear it. Silas Wright getting called for the foul, and they're trying to win that battle against Grassman. It's going to be Wright who's going to be the guy matched up with Grassman for most of this game.
Grassman misses the first free throw. Took a couple bounces near the rim. Ladigi in for Golden. Grassman just a little under 70% from the free throw line. Knocks down the second one. And we're tied once again at 40 apiece. Javon Blackmore to take it up for Lane.
What a first half. Not only is it high scoring, but both teams high scoring, 40-40 apiece.
There's Axemaker from the wing, no good, off the front eye of the rim, rebounded by Grassman, but gets tipped away by Javon Blackmore. Andre Lawrence, though, able to get it and keep it for the Cougars. Here's Peyton Myers to the three-pointer of his own. That one goes in.
Just so confident. You can see it in the stroke on that three. And that's why he's one of the better offensive players in all the conference.
So Peyton Myers with his 12 points in the game now, as Ladigi was outside, and they're going to call him for a travel. Javon Blackmore was driving inside, kicked it out to Ladigi.
Yep, and Coach Edwards immediately went to grab Izzy Golden and take Ledgy off.
Seeing a good amount of substitutions from Lane up to this point. Combination of LaBounty, Ladigi have been subbing in every 2 to 3 minutes. As here is inside from Lawrence, so now the lead for Clackamas is at 5 with just less than 50 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Blackmore. Gets out to Isaiah Lawrence. And pretty hot from the three-point line. Gets it down low to Silas Wright, but he misses that one. Rebounded by Andre Lawrence.
Yeah, not a great attempt by Wright. He never really seemed like had full possession of the ball in his right hand. It was kind of a weak attempt at a layup off the window and off the mark.
About a 9-second difference from shot clock to game clock. But imagine that the Cougars trying to get as much time off the clock as possible. As Grassman down low, he gets double teamed, and he's not able to win that battle, but he does get fouled, and
they found the mismatch inside. Wright was off Grassman, and they had Blackmore one-on-one with Grassman. They got the ball to him. They bring the double team down, but you're almost going to get a foul every time when you have a mismatch inside.
Second trip to the line for Grassman. He makes the first one. So 46-40. Couple substitutions.
15.2, shot clock turned off.
Joe Fundek back in for the Cougars. Micah Garrett as well for the Titans. Grassman misses that one, rebounded by Wright. Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds left. Micah Garrett going to bring it up. Could see him get the last shot. 5 seconds. Micah Garrett driving inside, trying to get one off. He does get one off. No good, though. It's off the side of the rim. So after an exciting first half, Clackamas leads Lane 46-40. Jonah, we said that it was going to be a close one, but we didn't think it was going to be this high of a shooting affair. But both teams' offenses right now are just rolling.
Yeah, you said it. I think we agree that we expected a close game that would maybe come down to the wire, but we didn't expect it to be a 40-point game in the first half by both teams. We were kind of more of that 25 range that we kind of grow accustomed to seeing in these 20-minute halves. But, I mean, unbelievable performance by both offenses. And you look at it, 50% from the field for Clackamas, shooting the ball well. Lane, 40%, not bad either. And they're in this game. And really, to be able to have a high-scoring game like this, it could usually leans one way towards one team. But both teams are able to be scoring the ball, putting the rock in the hoop, and we got a game on our hands. So
yeah, Cougars 7 of 15 from the three-point line. Lane 4 of 16. Peyton Myers has 15 points. Micah Garrett leading the Titans with 11. We're going to step aside for a halftime break. When we come up, though, second half here in this NWAC conference matchup. Back inside the arena on the campus of Lane Community College for what should be an exciting and close finish to this one, as the Clackamas Cougars currently lead the Lane Titans 46-40. Saul Gavon alongside Jonah Bruneau. Jonah, real quick before we get started, we said it before the break, but a lot of offense in the first half from two teams that generally don't put up this many points in an entire game for that matter, but in a first half, I mean, do we expect to see more of the same?
Perhaps more pressure now is on the defense in the second half, is who can stop ball the most and better than the other team. And really 46 points given up by Lane tends to be one of the higher numbers they've given up in one half of the season. So if they can step up on the defensive side, they'll be able to get back in this game. They're still in the game, 6-point deficit, but they can be able to crawl back and try and regain the lead.
Aliam Ford for the Cougars tipped it away, but it stays with Lane. Jacob LeBounty, Javon Blackmore, Jacob Axmaker, Silas Wright, and Micah Garrett are the 5 for Lane to start the second half. Silas Wright down low gets tipped away by Josiah Collins, and he's going fast up the court, guarded by Axmaker, and he'll get fouled on the way up. That'll be 2 shots right out the gate for the Cougars. Andre Lawrence, Josiah Collins, Henry Grassman, Leon Ford, and Peyton Myers are the 5 for the Cougars to start the second half. Collins at the line. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line in this game. Collins knocks down the first one.
And when you think of Lane here in the second half, now down 7, could be 8, you got to look to your playmakers and your stars, and that's Micah Garrett, Javon Blackmore, Isaiah Wallace off the bench. Those are your score makers. They're going to have to be a key part of this second half.
Here's Javon Blackmore was trying to kick it inside to Silas Wright, but it gets tipped off Silas Wright, actually, and it'll go back to the Cougars. As Wright, he was going out of bounds with it, was trying to kind of throw it, so it went off a Clackamas player, but he got the last touch, and it's Cougars ball.
Yeah, Silas Wright, he's had his hands full in this game so far. Him going up against Grassman. Grassman's giving him all he can, and he's getting the advantage so far.
Easy bucket there from Peyton Myers inside the paint, and the largest lead of the night for either team, as Clackamas leads 49-40. And here's Javon Blackmore. He drives inside. I mean, Blackmore, he's just so physical when he gets inside the paint. We saw it on the other end, but now that we're seeing it up closer on our side, you can just see when he drives inside, he's not afraid to go up in the hops he has.
Yeah, and that time Lawrence got 2 hands on him, and really it was questionable.
Blackmore makes the first free throw, his first trip to the line.
And it was
this one.
It was questionable. It sounded like he got all ball. I mean, you could hear it from up here. It sounded like all ball. There was no hand, and even Lawrence was kind of taken aback by the call on the foul.
Blackmore misses the second one, tipped away, and Leon Ford almost was kind of tiptoeing towards the sideline, but stays in bounds. Andre Lawrence got 9 points in the game for the Cougars. And Peyton Myers gets it down low to Lawrence, outside to Collins. Thought about it for a second, hesitated, instead gets it down low to Ford, but no good. Was blocked by Micah Garrett, and he grabs the rebound.
It was Silas Wright with the block, making his presence felt inside.
Here's Micah Garrett driving up, no good. Rebounded by the Cougars. Gets it ahead to Collins. He drives inside, and a nice up and in from Josiah Collins. And both teams are going quick here. Here's Javon Blackmore trying to answer. And it looks like they're going to call a foul, but it'll be off-ball foul, so Titans are going to inbound it. And it's been a really quick sequence.
Josiah Collins going quick himself on that take right there. It was very nice.
Micah Garrett trying to find Jacob LeBounty down low. LeBounty gets it out to Silas Wright, and he hits the mid-range shot.
Have to get him going. You got to give him some confidence when he's going up against Grassman. Get that shot stroke going. If he can start hitting from the mid-range, that'll be a huge help for the Titans.
Grassman at the top of the key trying to get down low, but gets stolen away by Javon Blackmore. Grassman next to him. Blackmore puts one up, no good. Rebounded by Wright. Out to the corner. Axemaker, he hits it.
And as much as that's a good shot by Axemaker, it's almost a more important trail by Silas Wright. Javon Blackmore's going one-on-one, coast to coast. Likely he's going to get fouled by Grassman. Doesn't get fouled, but the shot doesn't go. Silas Wright trailed him the whole way, and he's able to get the rebound, find Axemaker, and hit the three.
7 points now on the night for Axemaker as it's back to a 5-point deficit for Lane. But Lawrence drives inside and gets the easy bucket, so it goes back to a 7-point lead for Clackamas. Lane trying not to let the Cougars get too ahead. As outside Axemaker, he's going to step back. No good from that 3-point attempt. Rebound by Leon Ford. Ford pushes it up, gets it ahead to Collins. Thought about 3-pointer for a second, but gets a cross court to Lawrence. Down low to Ford. Here's Collins. Driving inside. Got tipped away, and they're going to call travel on it. So it looked like it got tipped away by Jacob Labounty, but the ref thought that Collins had full possession of it, and then he traveled.
Silas Wright will come off. Good shit for Wright right there to start the half. Getting himself going, getting himself in rhythm here.
Isaiah Wallace into the game. He's 3 of 6 from 3-point range. Let's see if they can try to get the ball in his hands. Javon Blackmore driving inside. Gets it out to Jacob Labounty. No good. Rebounded by Peyton Myers.
It's a great dish by Blackmore. It's the one that Labounty's got to have.
3-pointer attempt from Ford. Bullseye. Leon Ford with another 3 points for Clackamas. And they're ahead by 10 with a little over 16 minutes left to go in this one. There's Micah Garrett driving inside, and he got tipped, but they're going to say that was contact by, I believe, Ford. So Garrett will go to the line to shoot for 2.
That's twice now. I'm with Clackamas on these 2 foul calls. We had one on Lawrence earlier on Blackmore. That time again. This time on Garrett, and they get Ford. And yeah, I'm seeing all ball. I'm not seeing much hand contact as it gets very quiet in here when you shoot free throws. But
first trip to the line for Micah Garrett.
It's kind of the day and age we're at in basketball now, where it almost seems like more times than not, if you're going to drive to the rack and go up, more likely than not, it seems like there's going to be a foul on the whistle.
There's going to be a foul, or it's an easy point. Either way,
yep.
Good opportunity to score.
Yep. And more often than not nowadays, you see point guards driving to the rack and trying to draw a foul.
And there's Lawrence, and it looks like Labounty. I mean, that one was really questionable. That one looked like all ball. I got to agree with Coach Edwards there. Labounty was in disbelief. Edwards jumped out of his seat from his side of the court. And Lawrence is at the line to shoot for 2. And, yeah, just right on cue, Jonah. Another call that's pretty questionable, even though we're on the other side of the court. Lawrence makes his first free throw.
And it makes it hard for the defender because
and a rebound here. Nice rebound by Collins, and he gets fouled on the way
so
up.
Right there, it makes it hard for the defender because it's almost the advantage. It's like in football where it's kind of, advantage goes to the quarterback. The quarterback's protected. The offensive player in basketball, when you're driving to the rack, they're kind of protected because the defensive player, when there's contact,
yeah, I mean, it's like
they're going to get the call. They're going to get called on.
Exactly. You can play intense defense, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can put your hands up and do everything you can. But if you make any contact while they're in the air, that's automatically a foul.
And, of course, the restricted area comes into play as well. But the offensive player does have the advantage when they're driving.
Collins makes the second, and it's back to a 10-point lead for the Cougars.
It doesn't matter if it's someone at the height of Isaiah Wallace driving on Grassman. The offensive players still will have the advantage because the fouls get called so frequently.
And it gets tipped away by Josiah Collins, gets it ahead to Lawrence, and he had an easy lay-in, rebounded by Collins, and he gets the and one.
Well, I said it earlier when Silas Wright trailed Blackmore and was able to dish it out to Axemaker for a 3. Similar right there, Collins trailing Ford. Ford misses the layup, but Collins is right there to put it back up. and a chance for a three-point play. And Clackamas starting now to gap Lane.
Largest lead of the night for the Cougars, 60-48. As it looks like Micah Garrett and Jacob Axmaker take a seat for the Titans. Izzy Golden and Silas Wright back into the game. Collins misses that one, 3 of 7 from the line. And here come the Titans looking for something. Isaiah Wallace lost the grip for a second, but then able to regain control. Javon Blackmore from the near corner gets a screen from Wright, drives inside. No foul call, but it'll stay with the Titans as Peyton Myers going to say it went off him, even though he disagrees with the refs. Blackmore to inbound. They'll get it up to LeBounty, and what a pass there. And it'll be a shooting foul as LeBounty was trying to drive in. Looked like he had an easy basket, but there was some contact there from a Cougar. So LeBounty will go to the line to shoot for 2. And like you said, too, I mean, it really doesn't matter with the height because LeBounty there, he's 6'9". He went up against guys who were about 6'3" or 6'4", and he was still able to pick up the foul.
Yep, absolutely. And the opportunity here, you got to have these free throws, and when you're starting to lose distance, when the point margin differential, trying to make it a 10-point game here.
LeBounty is 2 for 2 on that one.
That's big.
Laying down by 10 again.
And the offense has slowed down a little bit here in the second half from both teams, but it's still at a good pace. There's still some high scoring going on.
There's a three-point attempt from Josiah Collins. No good. Rebounded by Silas Wright. And you're right, there haven't really been much scoring output from the Titans at least, as Javon Blackman drives inside and he gets the hard-earned bucket. It's back to an 8-point deficit for Lane.
Yeah, a little run now for Lane. Getting back into a single-digit deficit.
There's Lawrence driving inside. Wallace on defense, and Lawrence gets a little floater to go in. Lane playing with some intensity. Blackmore, top of the key, right. Then Izzy Golden driving inside, but blocked away by Grassman. And it'll stay with Lane, but what a block by Grassman to just deny the easy lay-in for Golden. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the floor. 62-52, Clackamas leads by 10 with 14-17 left to go. We're going to step aside for a break when we come back here on the Lane Sports Network. Isaiah Wallace to inbound it for the Titans as they trail by 10 with 14-17 left to play in this second half. Here's Javon Blackmore at the top of the key trying to get to Isaiah Wallace. He was hot from 3. Here's a three-pointer. Bullseye from Wallace. His first three-point attempt goes in of the second half.
Yep, 4 for 7 now for the game, right on cue, Sowell. And Micah Garrett out of the game right now. Wallace is going to be the key scorer, I believe, right here for Lane, him and Blackmore.
And you wonder if they're going to try to get to Wallace a little bit more. As here's Collins inside, not able to get that one. Rebounded by Golden. Here's Blackmore, brings it up. Wallace faked off. He takes another three-pointer. That one falls in. Isaiah Wallace, how about that? 2 of 2 from the three-point line in the second half.
And it was a beautiful fake. That's what created the space. He faked the ball on the coming Blackmore from behind, and no one really, they fell for the fake, and it left a wide open Wallace.
There was a three-point from the corner from Funduck, but not able to knock that one in. Rebounded, though, by Collins, so Cougars will keep it. Andre Lawrence. Jacob Labonte on defense. Collins. Grassman, top of the key. Now Lawrence trying to drive inside. Kicks it outside to Collins. Doesn't hit that one. Tips outside. Rebound by Funduck. And Lawrence, he drives that one inside, trying to put one up. And they're going to say they're going to call travel on Lawrence. So that will be a turnover for the Cougars, and possession will go to Lane.
Couple instances of potential travels right there, and Coach Edwards was pleading at some point, call a travel. There was the one on Fundock right there, and then they finally get on Lawrence.
Jacob Labonte takes a seat. Jacob Axmaker back into the game. And here's a three-point attempt from Izzy Golden. He hits the three-pointer. So how about Lane there? 3 of 3 on three-point attempts here in the second half, as now they cut the deficit to just 1 point.
Yeah, and they're hitting the threes right when they needed it most, and it gets cut, like you mentioned, Sal, down to a 1 point game now. And momentum's on their side. Clackamas has not been able to get much offense since the timeout.
Clackamas came out of the half scorching hot, up by as many as 12 points. And now Lane has fought their way back, as here's a fadeaway from Peyton Myers.
There's your answer right there, Peyton Myers. When you're losing momentum and your offense is struggling, get it to that man.
Here's Silas Wright at the top of the key. He hits that one. 4 of 4 from the three-point line in the second half. Lane is on fire right now, and we're tied back at 64.
Well, I said the offense was slowing down. It's picked right back up, and this game is going at an incredible pace.
Here's Peyton Myers down low. Now Grassman. Lawrence in the corner. Wallace on defense. He's driving in. And there was some contact there from Blackmore. Lawrence is down.
Yeah, Blackmore came out of a cannon from the paint and shot out. He saw Lawrence cutting. Had a kind of a bang-bang contact there, and Lawrence took the brunt of it.
Yeah, it looks like he's down. He might got a hit in the rib area.
He's face down right now. And he looks like he's grabbing somewhere in his midsection rib.
Looks like he just needs a couple minutes. I got the wind knocked out of him, but walking around, trying to stay on the court. He definitely doesn't want to come out of this game. And it looks like head coach Cliff Wegner is going to give him a breather as Leon Ford checks into the game for Lawrence.
I think it's going to take some time for him to catch his breath back after that one.
So Ford into the game, and here's a jump shot from Funduck, and he hits that one. So a back-and-forth matchup right now between both teams. Clackamas back ahead, 66-64. Here's Blackmore, then Wallace gets tipped away by Ford. Lane able to keep possession. Axmaker driving in. He puts up a floater. No good. Tipped and rebounded by Wright. He puts it back up. That one's no good. Wright got a hand on it. He grabs the rebound, but instead Grassman comes out of there. And
now another technical.
Yeah, so it looks like Wright, who had his hands on the ball a few times in that kind of scruffle for it. And he had some words to say that the refs didn't agree with.
Very similar to what happened to Grassman early on in the first half. Wanted a foul call, didn't get it, had words. And
so Fundak will shoot the free throws for the Cougars as he makes the first one, and Silas Wright going to take a seat.
I don't want to say the refs have had short leashes when it comes to the technical fouls because we don't exactly know what words are being said, but they've been quick to call those two technicals.
Funduck made the second, so it's a 4-point Clackamas lead. And here is Leon Ford. Isaiah Wallace on defense. Gets it to Josiah Collins. Collins working inside, makes a spin move, puts one up, and he puts it in. Nice move there from Josiah Collins to push Clackamas ahead to lead by 6. There's Axemaker, guarded by Collins. Gets out to Isaiah Wallace. You wonder if Lane's going to try to get the ball in his hands. He's been red hot in the second half. Jacob LeBounty down low. And they're going to go, they're saying it's going to go to the Cougars.
I think offensive foul on LeBounty.
Yeah, it looks like it was going to be an offensive foul on Bounty.
Might have thrown a hip in there.
That's kind of the problem, too. When you're in the paint, you're trying to box in, get as close to the rim as possible. Sometimes a little too much contact. Josiah Collins, now to Leon Ford. And he slipped up a bit. Got taken away by LeBounty. And he gets ahead. Here's Axemaker. Javon Blackmore drives inside with it, and he gets the and one, I believe. There was a whistle called after the bucket went in.
Yeah, the bucket counts. The ref wants a spot cleaned up.
So the ref was just signaling for a towel, I believe, to clean up a wet spot as Collins slipped up and turned the ball over. So it is 2 points for Lane.
So, Sal, if you remember back to the women's game, it's that same area.
It's that same area.
Yeah.
Like, there's something going on there. Not sure if there's.
It was Kaylee Cathan that fell in that first game, right in that same spot. And again, we saw Collins, or was it Collins? It was Ford. Excuse me. Ford took a hard tumble. It looked like he almost tweaked his leg. I was nervous for a second. But it's that same little pocket. Trying to make sure it's all dried up.
Refs say it's safe to play, and
bucket counts. Bucket counts. So it's a 4-point game.
Bucket does count. 70-66. Clackamas leads as we just crossed the 10-minute mark of the second half. Collins gets out to Grassman. Haven't seen a lot of three-point attempts from him as he misses that one. Rebounded by Jacob LeBounty. Gets it out to Micah Garrett back into the game for Lane. Garrett had a hot start to the first half, but he's been quiet since as Blackmore drives in, dishes it to LeBounty, and he gets the easy bucket. It looked like Kenneth Edwards was trying to get a foul there, but it's still 2 points for Lane. Here's Josiah Collins at the top of the key. It's out to Peyton Myers, then down low to Grassman. Grassman working inside, spin moves, puts one up, blocked by LeBounty, but rebounded by Funduck, and gets off a jumper, no good. Then another rebound by LeBounty.
LeBounty going head-to-head with Grassman.
Here's Javon Blackmore, kicks it inside to Izzy Golden, then he got it to LeBounty, and LeBounty in for the easy lay-in. So we're tied once again at 70. These two teams were not known for scoring in the conference, but their offenses have been on fire as a three-pointer from the wing for Funduck goes way past the rim, rebounded by Micah Garrett. Garrett trying to go coast to coast, and they're saying it's going to be a foul by Josiah Collins. It'll be off ball, so Lane will be able to inbound it. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the floor. Tied at 70 apiece with 8:32 left to go in this one. We are set for an exciting finish when we return here on the Lane Sports Network. Lane will have the ball coming out of the timeout. This game is tied at 70 apiece with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left to play. It'll be Izzy Golden to inbound it to Javon Blackmore. As closely approaching the end of this one as Michael Garrett driving inside, and it'll go to the Cougars as Garrett was looking for some sort of foul there, but instead throws it out of bounds.
What's interesting, both teams, Lane has 4 players in the double-digit point category. Same thing for Clackamas, so they're really spreading the ball, spreading the wealth.
There's Andre Lawrence back in the game after he sat out for a little bit with an injury to the rib area. A missed three-pointer there from Jacob Watson, and Lane ended up coming away with it. Here's Izzy Golden, gets it down low to Jacob LeBounty. LeBounty got tipped away by a Cougar, gets it to Jacob Axmeyer. He's going to pull it with a jumper. That one no good. Mike Garrett came in red hot trying to get the rebound, but no good. Here's Josiah Collins, gets it ahead with the alley-oop to Peyton Myers as he lays that one in. 72-70. Here's Javon Blackmore, and Javon Blackmore enters back. So these teams are wasting no time after they get the ball.
He just get right back. I don't even know if that was more than 2-3 seconds. He came down the court and put it back in.
Quick stop of play as the Cougar needed to tie his shoe, and Isaiah Walls checks in as well.
Yeah, that brings Golden off for Lane.
There's Peyton Myers, Funduck, and now Jacob Watson. He hasn't really played that much in the game, but Coach Wagner giving him an opportunity here late in this one, as there'll be a foul. It's against Micah Garrett. His second foul of the game. Josiah Collins will go to the line once again. 3 of 7 from the free throw. Collins knocks in the first one.
So go ahead, Sal.
Silas Wright coming back into the game for Jacob Labani. Jonah?
Yeah, Micah Garrett, you know, he's been scoreless in the second half. All 13 of his points came in the first half, so been very quiet in the second half. But Lane still has found a way to be right there with Clackamas.
Collins knocks in the second one, 74-72.
Timeout Lane.
As Lane will call another timeout. We'll keep it right here. And Jonah, 7:14 left, and you know we talk about momentum being a big thing in this game. You know, a team being on a run, whether it's scoring or playing good defense. It feels like no team has really had the momentum because these teams are just going pretty much back and forth right now. You know, is it going to take that all the way until the end for one of these teams to win, or is it going to take a run from either Clackamas or Lane?
Yeah, they're trading blows, and it seems like that's going to be the pace of the game until it's over. And that's what it's – I mean, if you're Lane, you know, the offense has been great today, but the defense has struggled. And it goes back to Silas Wright was struggling for most of this game, but he's been able to find his groove, not only on the offense, but defensively. He's been able to stand up against Grassman. Grassman was going to be his one-on-one opponent in a tough matchup today, but I feel like he's answered the bell here in the second half better than he did coming out in the first half. So if Lane can just continue to shoot the ball well on offense, that's what it's going to be. It's a shootout at this point, is who at this point can just shoot the ball better, because the defense has not been there for either side.
Lane ranks number 21 in conference in scoring defense, as they usually allow 81.3 points a game. Clackamas a little bit more at 82.9. The scoring margins between both teams, Lane's 2.6, Clackamas is minus 1.5. So these teams have played a lot of close games. Their offenses, they put up a good amount, but the defense is not really there.
And Jacob LeBounty as well. He's played more minutes than Silas Wright this season. But we've seen a lot of Silas Wright today.
There's Javon Blackmore driving inside. No good. Rebounded by Josiah Collins.
And we saw LeBounty in for a while before this previous timeout. Now Silas Wright in the game for LeBounty. But LeBounty's played a nice game today as well. for Lane.
There's Grassman working inside, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, against Blackmore. He wasn't too happy with that call.
You look at LeBounty, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He's got 12 points, 3 for 4 from the field. Silas Wright has 9, 3 for 6 from the field for Wright. So both of them doing what they need to do, but when it comes down to is defensive or offensive rebounds, if they can outmatch Grassman.
Grassman makes the first free throw. LeBounty back in. And you're right. We'll see if Coach Edwards decided to keep them both in this game. They're both 6'9", and when you got height down low, it's a big advantage, especially for Lane. Down by 3. As Grassman makes the second. 76-72. There's Micah Garrett. Like Jonas said, been pretty quiet in the second half. See if we can get him going. Garrett driving inside, trying to dish it inside to Silas Wright, but instead stolen away by Peyton Myers, and Myers is going to get fouled at the other end by Jacob LeBounty. And it looks like Izzy Golden and Javon Blackmore is coming right back into the game. So Blackmore took a seat for about 15 seconds, and he's coming right in.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a close game like this, you got to have your star playmakers out there. When something goes wrong, it's quick to react to that, especially when you're getting late in the game now, coming up on 6.5, and you're down 5. Got to get your stars on the court.
Myers' first trip to the line, and his first one.
Now what I like from Lane here is they got LeBounty and Silas Wright both on the court, and if they can find a way to strategize around Grassman with both of them, could be advantage Lane here. Let's see what they can do.
Isaiah Wallace took a seat. LeBounty in. Here's Blackmore. Jacob Axmaker trying to find something inside. He finds Silas Wright working on Grassman, and that pretty much just gets stolen away out of the hands of Wright by Grassman.
Grassman wins that battle again. It's another one that he's gotten over Silas Wright.
There's Peyton Myers thinking about driving inside. Now here's Funduk for the three-pointer. That one no good. And Funduk grabs his own rebound. Behind the back pass, he was trying to get it down low to Grassman, but instead stolen away by Silas Wright. Trying to make a little magic happen there. It didn't work out. And here's Jacob Axmaker for 3 points. No good. Rebounded by Peyton Myers.
Got to get a couple stops for Lane here. Clock's going away quickly, and when you're down 6, 2 possessions.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to start taking shots or if they're going to keep stressing and working down the paint. And here's Funduk. Gets it down low to Grassman, and that one gets tipped away. Izzy Golden for Lane touched it last. As it'll be Isaiah Wallace checking back into the game. LeBounty's going to take a seat. Wallace leading the team right now with 15 points, 5 of 8 from the three-point line. All of his points have come from the three-point line, actually. As here is an inbound to Ford, and he hits the three-point. So Allion Ford. And here is a charge foul against Blackmore. That was clear as day. And Blackmore is just going to head straight for the bench.
LeBounty right back in.
LeBounty right back in. So you see this kind of line change almost as guy either makes a mistake or something happens. And Edwards quickly to react to the bench.
Micah Garrett as well still on the bench, and he came off and shaking his head. Probably disappointed in the way the second half has gone for him.
There's Andre Lawrence driving inside. LeBounty on defense, trying to get it down low. Gets it to Collins in the corner. Collins drives in, and he gets the 2 points. Lay-in, so it's 83-72 with 4:35 left to play. Clackamas run away with it with a little bit. Here's Isaiah Wallace. LeBounty driving inside, and they're going to call a foul.
And it happens that quickly. This game was just tied not very long ago. And when it's a shootout game like this, when a team gets on a run and the other team can't answer, it happens that fast. All of a sudden, it's an 11-point lead for the Cougars.
Coach Edwards calling a timeout. 83-72. Clackamas leads. 4:27 left to play. We have more coming on the other side of this break here on the Lane Streaming Network. It'll be 2 free throws for Lane as Jacob Labonte went to the sideline. He'll be the one shooting the free throws for Lane. Titans down by 11 with 4:27 left to play. Bounty misses his first free throw. He's got 12 points on the night. It was perfect from the free throw line up until that one. And Labonte misses that one. Josiah Collins grabs the rebound and gets it to Andre Lawrence. And now we see a little full court defense from the Titans as Junior Ladigi is back into the game for Lane. First time we've seen him here in the second half. I believe Clackamas turned the ball over. Not sure what they did. It might have been a travel call. So the full court defense works for Lane. Wright, Labonte, Axemaker, Golden, and Wall. So the 5 out there for Lane. As here's a three-pointer from Axemaker. That one no good. Another rebound by Josiah Collins. And now here's Andre Lawrence. Lawrence. Working on Wallace. Keeping the ball. Now on Golden. Now gets out to Peyton Myers. Myers might just have to chuck up a shot. He does. Off the backboard. Rebound by Labonte. Now here's Axemaker. Now easy Golden from the wing. And he is fouled. So it'll be 3 free throws coming up for Golden, as there was some contact while he was shooting that three-pointer.
Izzy Golden, 66% from the line so far this year. This will be his first attempts in this game. And got to have him.
Makes the first one. Golden, a freshman guard from Ashland, Oregon. Had season high 21 points versus Corbin University as he makes the second free throw. But Golden makes all free throws. He's perfect from the line.
Big free throws right there by Golden. Really can change the complexity of the game when you're down single digits instead of double.
Here's a Leon Ford, gets it down low to Grassman. No good, blocked away, rebounded by Ladigi. And here's Isaiah Wallace. gets to Ladiji. Thought about pulling up for the three-pointer. No good. Ladiji, top of the key. Gets out to Golden. He'll attempt a three-pointer. That one is no good. Rebounded by Ford.
Not a great shot right there. It was a heavily contested three. I think you would have liked to seen more ball movement if you're Lane.
Yeah, still a lot of time for Lane. 2:50 left to play. Only down by 8 points. So they can put together some plays. They can get themselves pretty close. There's Lawrence driving inside. Slips again, and he is down on the ground.
Just so scary when you see a player.
They do everything possible to make it safe. The court, the shoes, everything. But
yeah, it's just
every once in a while, still.
It's scary when you see a player lose their footing. And it's very easy. Your leg can get caught underneath you, and something will bend in the wrong direction. Luckily, Lawrence now, it's twice he's been down on the deck.
Yeah,
and
he's
been able to walk away.
He's a warrior for sure. Like you said, second time he's been on the deck. He took a shot to the ribs earlier. And slipped up there, but it doesn't matter as the refs are making sure that spot is dry. The ball possession will go to Lane since Lawrence threw it out of bounds.
Micah Garrett back in the game. Here he comes for Lane.
Lane has their shooters in. Here's Garrett, drives inside, gets it out to Axemaker from the top of the key. That one no good. Another rebound by Josiah Collins. He's been all over the court today. His 8th rebound of the game so far.
And the three ball's gone cold now for Lane at a very untimely moment in the game, and they need him.
There's Ford. He got tipped away by Ladiji. Ladiji got possession of it as Isaiah Wallace ends up coming away with it. Jacob Labonte also had it. Here's Ladiji. Gets it to Isaiah Wallace. He's been red hot. No good from that one. Rebounded by Peyton Myers. So even Isaiah Wallace, who was so hot from three-point range, and now we're going to get a stoppage in play. Another
wet spot. The ref
wet spot.
Checking it again. This is what happens when you don't have the NBA moppers coming out every time they're coming down the opposite side of the court.
So we'll get a stoppage of play. And, yeah, I mean, the three ball, it's pretty much just gone cold for Lane. They've had some good looks, but they just haven't been falling.
That's really it. And it's coming at untimely time. And their shooters are the ones pulling the trigger. You got Axemaker shooting the three. You got Wallace right there just shooting that three. And they're just not falling. And with just 2 minutes to go now, they're going to have to start falling really quickly. Clackamas has done a good job, for the most part, maintaining possession. And that's going to be the strategy from here on out. 2 minutes to go. Clackamas is going to try and control this game and let that clock wind.
Josiah Collins to inbound it. Seeing a little full court press from Lane. Lawrence just trying to get it past midcourt, and he does to Collins. There's Lawrence, gets it to Ford. I would imagine that Clackamas is trying to eat up as much of the clock as possible as Lawrence gets it down low to Grassman. Grassman fighting in, and he wins that battle. Able to put in the lay-in, and it's 85-75.
Absolutely needed bucket here.
As that one is blocked, but they're going to call a foul against Josiah Collins.
Yeah, that was big. It's a big foul call because if it's just a normal block and no whistle, Clackamas is running the other way and likely going to put the dagger away in the lane.
Micah Garrett, the second trip to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 on his first attempt.
He's a solid guy to have at the line, 76%.
He makes his first one. And a minute 28 left. I mean, you know, obviously you got to get defensive stops. Don't play the foul game at this point as he misses the second free throw. But, yeah, they got to start making shots. They're down by 9 points, which is not really a lot with a minute 28 left to go.
But it can be a lot because Clackamas is going to wind the clock every possession now.
Garrett made his third free throw, so it's 85-77. And here's Lawrence, now Josiah Collins. Clackamas just trying to get it away, and looks like Ledigi fouled. Actually, no, they're going to call that foul on Jacob Axmaker.
It's going to send Collins, I believe, to the line. Yes, indeed it is.
Jacob Watson checking in for Peyton Myers. Myers, what a game he's had. 23 points, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. He was 9 of 12 from the field, so really effective for the Cougars in this one as Collins makes his first free throw. But really, I mean, this whole Clackamas team has been really effective. 5 different guys in double-digit points, and pretty much every guy who stepped on the court has scored, as they're going to call a foul against, I believe, Jacob Watson, who was trying to go for the rebound.
Yeah, get him for the over the back, and I believe he was going over the back of LeBounty, and they got him for it.
So now Myers is coming back into the game for Watson.
So Wallace will shoot.
2 free throws for Wallace.
It's a 1-on-1, yeah.
Oh, so now they're actually in the bonus. So, yep, there'll be a free throw and another one if Wallace can make this one. No good as Ford comes in running, grabs the rebound. And they're going to call another foul. As Ford got knocked down. So now they're going to head to the other side of the court for 2 more free throws.
And Coach Kenneth Edwards, face in his palm of his hand. Light's getting thin. It's getting it's dwindling quickly.
First trip to the line for Ford as he makes his first free throw. Watson back into the game.
And gotta have it. You think now, Lane, the 3 ball has to come in right now. Got to get down the court quickly and put one up and hope it falls.
Down to the
There
wire
it
as Axmaker for the 3-pointer. That one no good. Tipped away by Jacob Labonte. Ledigi there to get the rebound as he pulls up with a jumper. No good for that one. And it gets tipped away by Labonte as Lawrence was trying to get it to Ford. Possession will stay with the Cougars since Labonte touched it last.
Yeah.
Titans playing full court defense as Lawrence got it under to Collins and cross court to Grassman as he dunks it through, and that might have been the nail in the coffin with 45 seconds left to play and Titans down by 13. As here's Axmaker driving inside and a foul is going to get called.
And it is really solely going to come down to just the 3 ball went away from Lane at the wrong time. They needed to be able to continue to shoot the ball all the way until the end of regulation. And ever since around the 5-minute mark, it went away.
Both teams made 9 threes as Axmaker's at the line. He makes the first one. Both teams made 9 threes, but Lane, 28 attempts. Cougars only 25. So Cougars, like you said, were able to knock down the 3 ball more than Lane. As Axmaker makes the second free throw. And now another foul is called. It will be on Junior Ledeji.
I think if you're coming into this game for Lane, if you said you had 79 on the board late in the second half, I think you would have taken that coming into this game.
Yep.
With Clackamas being on the lower end of offense in the NWAC conference.
Ford makes that one. And you would imagine that Lane's trying to put up a couple more points on the board as Garrett drives inside, but that one gets rebounded by Ford. And it's going to be a timeout by Clackamas with 27 seconds left on the clock. Shot clock will be turned off. Nothing that Lane can really do at this point, and it was definitely a game that we expected, Jonah. I mean, two teams that are middle of the pack right now in the conference, and we just didn't expect this much scoring, but hey, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately for Lane fans and the Titans, Clackamas, both on the women's and men's side, are going to come in here to the College of Lane and take home 2 wins, and Lane's going to go 0-2 on the Saturday doubleheader. But 2 great games, 2 highly competitive ball games, very different from each other. This game was very high scoring. The women's game was very intense, a lot of good defense, and it really came down to the wire in that women's game earlier. But the Cougars, too much for the Titans on this Saturday.
Forward inbound, he thought it was out of bounds by Ladigi, but here's Grassman trying to dunk it in, but that one's no good. Rebounded by LaBounty as the Titans tried to get a few more points. Axemaker, Izzy Golden pump faked it, then drives inside to LaBounty. And Lawrence is going to get the last touch. I believe he'll just hold on to it. And that's going to do it for this one. Clackamas Cougars come to Eugene, Oregon, take down Lane 92-79 in a very high scoring affair. Just pure offensive dominance from Clackamas the whole way through. 9 of 25 from three-point range, 48% from the field, and 65% from the free throw line. Jonah, it was a tough game overall, but a very good game, and I think a game that could definitely prepare Lane for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only did the 3-ball go away late for Lane, but just star power was not as prevalent in that second half. Micah Garrett just 2 points in that second half. Javon Blackmore had a little effect in that second half as well, and so just kind of got away from them. And I mentioned earlier how when a shootout like this, all it takes is one run from one side of the game to make a run and distance themselves. And that's what Clackamas did. They were able to be that team. Peyton Myers, 23. Josiah Collins had a great second half as well. And they were hitting shots more than Lane in the second half when it came down to it.
So the Cougars will go to 11-8 on the season, 3-3 in conference play, while the Titans drop to 8-11 on the season, 3-4 in conference play. Both the men's and women's team are back in action on Monday right here at Lane against Chemekka. Myself and Jonah will be on the call for that one. But for now, we say goodnight from Lane.